So here's the setup for today. I've got some white gas in this fuel bottle. I've adapted the Omnifuel burner to the Trangia 25 using the Optimus Nova adapter. That's what this clip is here. I've let some priming fuel down into the wick. We'll get it primed up and we'll see how we're doing here. It's just a test. One of the issues that I'm dealing with, you can see here, there's this hole that's designed for the Nova fuel hose to come out of, but because the Primus has this big doodad on the end of the hose, it doesn't fit through that hole. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. I might have to drill it out a little bigger or something. See how we're doing. Ooh, it's gonna settle down, but yeah, I was gonna adapt my Nova to this, but someone had mentioned that, oh yeah, no, this works with the Omnifuel too. So I thought, hey, why don't we give that a try? Because I have two Omnifuels, and this one doesn't have much use on it. Settle down. All right, I'm gonna see if I can melt this windscreen today. Here we have the 25 centimeter Primus campfire skillet, which is a passable skillet for the Trangia 25. It sits on there pretty well. There's a little bit of wobble, as you see. But as far as a practical cooking implement, I think it's going to work out just fine. It doesn't necessarily sit on there exactly square, but there's a gap just there as it's supposed to be. And as you see, the thicker bottom of it distributes the heat pretty evenly. This is probably not the most efficient way to fry, with the pan being quite so far from the flame, but this is just part of the test of this Primus Omnifuel burner in this Trangia 25 system. So stay tuned. I thought you guys might like a close-up. I filmed this at the end, but I'm not going to leave it at the end. I'm going to put it somewhere in the middle. You might like a close-up of the burner. So this is the Omnifuel burner out of the legs, and then this silver cup that's sitting in my palm, and those two clips are basically the adapter. If you look real close in here, I need to put some spacers. That's where I put the spacers, underneath the felt pad, which is, oh hey, can we focus here or what? Okay, the felt pad. But yeah, this ran for like an hour and did fine. And ran the Trangia, did fine. Got the, I'll focus. It's the 37 jet, I believe, for white gas. Okay, cool. One interesting thing about this Primus skillet is that if you're also running the 4.5 liter Trangia billy pot around your Trangia 25, which is the billy pot that the Trangia 25 fits inside and then will sit on top of the windscreen just like a frying pan, this skillet fits around that pot. So my setup that has that, I added one of the skillets to it, and now basically I have this capability as well as the large 4.5 liter pot capability. So here are the legs from my Omnifuel. It's pretty clean. I have two Omnifuels, and this is the newer of the two. I had one that I used on several trips, and it was a real reliable stove. And I was at a sporting goods store, and they had a clearance bin, and they had an Omnifuel with the fuel bottle. I think it was for $89. And I just couldn't, even though I already had one, I couldn't give it up because I knew that online they go for about $150. So I just grabbed it up, and then now it's come in handy. I was thinking about adapting my Nova. I only have one Nova, it's an older one. So I was, do I want to adapt it over? Do I want to keep it complete? I don't know. And then I was reading on a forum, someone asked, well, what one do you use for the Nova? What adapter kit? And they're like, it's the same kit. So I found a spot where I need to add a couple of washers, a couple of spacers. I use some fiber washers that I use for kerosene stoves. I might switch those over to steel. They're just in between the spring clip that holds the burner in place and the priming pad. There's a little bit more of a gap on this stove, basically about as much as this indentation here in the bottom of the old assembly, that I needed to like basically fill up with something so it wouldn't be like wiggly. And that worked really well with the fiber washers. Literally I just happen to have them, but I might grab a couple of just basic washers that have a hole in them about that size right there, and go from there. So here we have take two. It was so much of a hit, I got sent out to make more. Made myself a second cup of tea too. It's science. So I think I'm just about done. It's been running for about an hour, so we'll pull that off there. Take a look at it here. I'm gonna flip the tank here. See it go out here. Well, the problem with the Primus ones is because of all these doodads here, this can kind of be at angles. It's a very long hose. The Nova hose is a lot shorter and it's a lot more rigid. This one has a lot more flex to it. So sometimes people say that the flip stop doesn't work with the Primus, but it totally does work. You just have to be sure that your pump is actually sticking straight up in the air like this. Let's see. It does take a while sometimes. I'll come back when it seems like it's not too bad. And that's how it shuts off. Thanks for watching, guys.